being able to go back into your past, and let's say somebody had experienced extraordinary amounts of trauma. If you can go back into your past and change your perception from the situation that makes you feel negative emotions internally on the inside, me personally, I believe that you are in fact changing your past. And when you can change your past and begin to view things from a positive perspective, you look at the trauma itself from a point of, rather than it makes me feel bad, I don't like thinking about it, it makes me feel anxiety, panic. However, when you can begin to transmute those emotions to positive ones, like gratitude, being thankful for it. So I can say now, post July 4th, 2020, that I am absolutely grateful for everything and everyone, good, bad, or indifferent, that I've had an experience with, that we've exchanged words, that we've been in each other's life to whatever degree, good, bad, or indifferent. I hope you're hearing this. I am super thankful. I can't even begin to express to you the level of gratitude that I have for all of you. Promise. Promise, 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 promise. I wouldn't be in this level of awareness if it wasn't without you. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So I'm Nikki. I'm 28 years old. I was born and raised in California, Bay Area, and I'm here now in San Antonio. And what I do is, I messed that up so badly. I'm so sorry. From California. Okay, no, this is so bad. Sorry. Hold on, let me get grounded, yeah. So I'm Nikki, I'm 28 years old, and I'm the Reiki practitioner here at Unlimited Thought. I also do Akashic Record readings. So Reiki is a form of energy healing, and with Reiki we can go in and remove blockages, we can promote healing in a sense on an energetic level. Everything starts on an energetic level, so if you are experiencing things within the body, maybe illnesses or discomforts, everything is starting on an energetic level. So we kind of go in and find the root of what is causing these discomforts in your life. This can also be emotionally affecting you, or sometimes you're drawing in energy and you're drawing in energy that matches your frequency. So if maybe you have lovers that are coming in that are displaying negative attributes, well, that means that you're holding that frequency, and that's why that's coming into you. So my job is to help you get past that, make you aware of what it is that is causing this in your life, help you get through it in whichever way I can, intuitively, channeling, whatever needs to come through to help you. So with Akashic Records, for me, I know everybody sees it differently. Sometimes people go in and they see an actual library of records that, holds our book of life. But for me, it's more like tapping into the collective frequency and the information that's stored there. And we are all one, and we are all going through so much. And there's so much information that has been stored in the energy field of this planet, and so it's kind of just drawing from that. And I get to experience stuff sometimes that isn't really mine, but in that sense I can assist you once I start going through it as well. So Johnny, I came to the store, this was very interesting how this happened, because I came to the store on a gut feeling, I brought my dad in to get some crystals, and intuitively I had already been Reiki certified, so I'd also been looking for a job to be a Reiki practitioner somewhere, and so I came in, and I just had a feeling that I needed to ask if they were looking for a Reiki practitioner. Well, it turns out that they were looking for precisely that. There was one office open, and that's exactly what they needed, so divine timing. And when when I came in for the interview process, Alex, our general manager, who is now our owner, yay! She told me that I had to meet with some of the practitioners that were already here so that they could also interview me in a sense and kind of try out, see if I was a good fit for the store. Well, I came in and I had the most magical experience with Johnny. He completely flipped my world upside down, opened my eyes to so many things, and that was the day I met him. Completely changed my life since then. We are one. We are one. I haven't met everybody. I know there's a lot that I haven't met, but everyone that does come in and that I fully believe in Johnny. I knew it the second that I felt his energy. I knew that I could trust him. I knew that he would always be a good friend to me, and he's proved it many, many, many times since then. So I think it's really important to share that Johnny got me to a place where I could understand where I stood. Because like I said, we're calling in all these things on an energetic level, and we don't know why we'll call them tests, right? Why we're stuck in our loops, like why we keep doing the same thing over and over again. And for example, if you want to get to point B and you put that in on Google Maps and you say, I want to get to here, well, it's going to ask you, well, where's your starting point? Where's point A to be able to get to point B? And if you don't know that, it's a little harder to get to where you're going. And so, although I can visualize, happiness and love and feeling complete, I don't truly understand that until I can look at all the things that are hidden within me. And so, when I did the entheogens with Johnny, the mushroom session, it was really powerful, and a lot of the things were revealed to me. And I mean, he didn't leave me. It was a long, long session, and he didn't leave me, and he was there for me the entire time. And it was frustrating because my ego was not trying to be nice in any way. So, but the revelations that came after that mushroom session were, and they're still coming to this day. It's very powerful how much information I've been able to gather just from that one session with him. And then having him as a guide was definitely very, very important, because I've also done mushrooms on my own, and it's kind of like going in without a compass. And I mean, he's I think that's really important to share, because he's trustworthy. He's man. he definitely helped me save myself, and I think that's really important too, because we can only save ourselves, but having that good friend that can help us through that, it's priceless. And it's gone by very quickly. That's the thing, is that we're just like, some people like to call it quantum leaping. I'm not too big on labels these days, but just to add some imagery in there, I mean, we're just and that's powerful. It's very powerful. I want to thank Johnny for everything. I definitely want to thank God for everything. I want to thank the Creator for this. I mean, this incredibly wild, intricate design is just perfection. It's perfection, and I get to see it every single day. When I tune in and, I'm in the moment and I'm really present, I can see just how beautiful this all is and how perfect. And thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. There's so much love and power in that, and you inspire me to be better every day. So I've been in some pretty abusive relationships. So part of my mushroom session was, the revelation that came through is that I had, a suppressed memory. And so I don't even know if I didn't know that now, I would probably be making the same mistakes, ending up with the same kind of people that are like the person who originally hurt me. So as a child, I felt like I was very intuitive, very in tune to like the energies around me, and I kind of buried that in a sense growing up. There's a lot of like programming that happens. There's a lot of trauma that I went through, and so I was still calling in a lot of that trauma. I had some repressed memories, which Johnny helped me, uncover, bring to the surface, and so I'm very grateful for that, because I would still be making the same mistakes had I not known that. So I was not in a good place. I've been through a lot of dark times in my life. I used to be a full-blown drug addict. Heroin was my drug of choice. I've also been raped many, many times in my life. I've been abused by men, and I'm just now starting to understand why everything was happening to me. And so it gave me a lot of power. So I started doing mushrooms on my own. I had done them when I was a young teenager, probably around the age of 15, and then I stopped. I got into the harder drugs. And then about, a year and a half ago, I started doing them again, and on my own, and I started getting so many revelations, like, about what love really looks like. And one thing led to the next, and there was a lot of synchronicities, and I started seeing numbers everywhere, and all these weird things are happening to me, and I'm like, what's going on here? Something's reaching out to me. And I followed it. I took a road trip to Mount Shasta, got Reiki certified. A lot of magic happened there, a lot of energy flowing there. And I came back, and now I'm here. But as far as my spiritual awakening, this time around, mushrooms definitely had a big part in that. Absolutely. So I'm able to help people by realizing that we're one, and by at the same time as, like if people come to me, I have to be the teacher and also the student, and then making them aware of that, so that they understand that we are one, and we are teaching each other, and we're getting each other through this. I really like to bring that to the table. I like to find creative ways to get people to understand the same concept. And sometimes it has to be done slowly. We can't just bombard people all the time, because they might not get the message. So it's just kind of finding creative ways to find those side doors, back doors, and find a middle ground to where we can relate to each other. And just finding love and peace in that, and letting people know that they're not alone. I've been there. I've been in that place where it's scary and hard, and I don't want to go back to that, and I don't want other people to go through that either. So I put my heart and soul into this, and not just that, I always ask for guidance. If I'm doing a Reiki session with somebody, I'm on my knees praying and thanking, one, for this opportunity, two, for the mutual healing that's going on, the teaching that's going on. And so that's really, this is incredible. This is incredible. The magic continues to unfold every single day. There's so much gratitude. I think we're all still healing. We're all still healing in a sense. There's always, we'll always go back and revisit stuff, and I like analyzing everything from different angles. It's not always just one perspective. I like to see it from this perspective and this perspective, and then so going back around and getting more information out of it that only helps me to serve other people at the end of the day. That's what we're here doing. So the healing doesn't stop, and I don't want it to stop. I don't want it to stop, and I want to, help as many people as I can. In fact, that's one of my prayers that I constantly say is, even if I have to suffer and if I have to go through some stuff, well, at least I'll be able to relate to the people that, will need me. Will need me in the future to help them through that. Yeah, it's incredible. I get more out of it all the time, just looking back and reflecting. I'm like, what? Like, how did I miss that? So, yeah, it's powerful, big time. And then, like I said, what qualifies us to be healers is healing ourselves first. I tell people that all the time. We have to start here, and then we can go out, and then we can do it at the same time, and it's really cool. Going through the healing process is a lot like being really lost at first and not knowing which direction to go, and then something comes through. Something is guiding us, and when we're asking, right, our heart is crying out for this healing that we're needing, and always in divine timing, right? Something starts grabbing our attention. Something, for me it was numbers. For me it was numbers that definitely popped out, and a lot of synchronicities, and then so trusting my intuition, trusting that I'm interacting with something, and letting it guide me has brought me to this place where I can now analyze why I was feeling so unhealed, why I was feeling so scared, lost, why I was in such a state of distress. And so this has all completely changed my life. Completely. I'm coming to the point where it's I'm still healing myself, and I'm still working on it, but it's easier. It's easier now because I'm doing it with others. I'm realizing that we are one. And so every interaction that I have, I gain something from, and I'm also giving something in return. And we're helping each other. And so, if somebody comes into my office and, I help them with whatever issue they're facing, most of the time it's something that I'm also going through. So it's help for them, it's help for me. I'm able to give us both advice, they give me advice, and we go on this healing journey together. When I go home, I process, I spend some time, I analyze, and that's a lot of what this healing journey is. And it brings us to this place where we have so much gratitude for all the guidance that we're getting. It's incredible. It's incredible. This design is just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I really look forward to helping other people go through this, because that's the coolest thing about this experience is now I've experienced it, so I can help others go through it as well. And I'm slowly getting pieces of that, and I'm being trained in a sense by on how to do it. Like I said, we have clear guidance, we just have to pay attention.
Nikki can now express gratitude towards things of her past. The things that when we were in session with, that she wanted to let go of certain old patterns, thoughts, beliefs, illusions that the ego begins to create within the mind. Things that just aren't so. And my job is to keep people grounded to what is true. Absolutely true. She was already a Reiki practitioner, so she had a little bit of energy work. I just took it to another level of how to use and feel energy in a way that she was not aware of. In this case, one of the greatest things that I made her aware of was how to utilize the throat chakra. How to be able to help discern what is true and what is not. For example, let's say you're out there, how would you know that you're telling a lie? If you didn't have something by creation, purpose, design, and intent placed inside of us, that when it was time, then you were made aware that it would help you discern with what is and what is not. Okay, what is true? What is a lie? Because right now, guys, currently, if you're watching this, it's pretty crazy out there. Okay. As far as Nikki goes, I helped her be free. Free from old patterns, thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that were limiting her experience of the present. Remember an old Kung Fu Panda? Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift.
There's a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
That's why it's called the present. When people experience too much trauma, they are incapable of being in their present. Their mind travels oftentimes, way too many times, to their personal past. And then when they're in their past for too long, they go to the minute, or they go to the moment. The moment begins to agitate and upset, and then the mind travels where? Now it goes to the future with whatever currently you're dealing with. You begin to create illusions about things that may not ever happen or will never come to pass, impeding your what? Your moment. So I think Nikki now has learned to be in her moment.
Yep, that's 100% correct. Because she said the same thing.
Oh, word. Oh, shit.
Good job.
Yay!
You did it this time.
We are all one. Not two, not three. One.